Gentlemen, welcome. And apparently I don't know what year it is, but that's okay. Guys, how are y'all tonight?
Fantastic.
How you doing? Great. Good to see you.
Four horsemen in four totally different places today.
True.
Yes.
So, gentlemen, before we get started, let's introduce yourself. And I'm sure pretty much everyone in here knows who everyone is, but after y'all.
I would be Vision Preparedness. Hi, welcome. Grab a cup of coffee, your favorite beverage, sit back, kick your shoes off, and we guarantee you somebody will be shocked by comments that come out tonight.
I'm the Livingston man. I concur with Trent. Grab your favorite beverage, smoke them if you got them. We're here for the long haul. This is going to be good.
Well, since the Livingston man said it, I'll have a sip of this Red Bull. I am Mike from Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, and you are watching the Four Horsemen podcast.
Yo, homie, sound like you fucking live streaming from the jungles of Cambodia right now. You behind enemy lines right now, dude?
Hey, it's the mean woods of upstate New York.
I see Pol Pot.
It sounds like there's a predator or something behind stalking me. I don't know.
Ho Chi Minh, bro, Viet Cong out there.
You guys gonna have to keep an eye on my back because I'm trying to pay attention.
He's behind the lines in New Yorkistan.
It's wild up here, man. It's like the wild, wild west. I'm telling you.
Man. So, guys, I gotta tell you, I wasn't sure where to start because there's been so much weirdness in the last. It just gets weirder. I mean, Livingston and I were talking about it just before we came on. It's like, it's just when you think, okay, it's kind of settled down, and then something happens, and it's just, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
So I guess I got a mix of questions because I wasn't sure which way to go this tonight. So I guess in no particular order, and two of them are rat hole questions. So I know Livingston Man's going to be teed up for those, for sure. And so let's begin with the first one. To all these fine people, what do you think people overlook in preparedness, even when they're trying to do the right thing? What do you think's their biggest miss, or they don't see it?
If I could swing first, I'm gonna say enough water. People overlook having enough water. I think folks highly underestimate how much water they're actually going to use throughout the course of a day, yet alone weeks and months. I think folks highly underestimate water.
That's a good point, especially if you don't have a natural source of it.
Yeah, I'll swing second, and I would say medical supplies.
Okay.
For major injury and or antibiotics for sickness.
I concur. That's a good one.
Yeah. All right. I concur with both of the former here, but I'm going to add the most overlooked thing I think people think of in preparedness, and it's not even intentional. It's not like you're a dumbass, but it's not even about preparedness. Is that probably the most overlooked thing in a lot of people's lives, that they don't even bother with it, never think of it until something goes wrong with it and it's catastrophic? It's their vehicle.
That's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not like all of us have horses. I mean, some of you guys may have some livestock, but yeah, if you had to go somewhere. So to that point,
you hear so many. To my point, I suppose, is that like I often hear stories from friends where one of them sitting right there. You know, it's an about town machine. It gets up on these highway roads and does its thing, but then you got to go ahead and bug the fuck out, and you go 4,000 miles, and the machine don't make it back. I've seen and heard of it too many times, and in this bug out scenario, people think they're going to be like driving halfway across the country. And maybe you are. Is your vehicle down for it? Like, do you have preparedness supplies in that vehicle already? Because I don't know. I'm going to assume the average person spends what, 3 hours a day in your vehicle.
Yep.
And in Pete's case, your dude probably lives out the back of his car. He gets all over the place. It depends on your scenarios and shit like this. But
Yeah.
you know, you're in your car, fine. But then something bad happens, and now you have your car, but that's all you have. Keep it real clean. I don't want no food in my car. Well, yeah. Well, all you have is I hope you can eat the seat.
Yeah.
I don't. You know, it's. I'm not gonna harp too much about a vehicle. I don't even fucking own one, bro. I got a bicycle, but make sure it works. That's all.
Hey, your bicycle does not need gasoline.
That's true.
Having beat all the way around that bush, I'm going to rephrase my entire answer and say that the thing that most people overlook in preparedness is maintenance of the things they already have. Let's go with that one.
That's a very good one.
Thank you for allowing me that.
No, not at all. I mean, you have no idea. Go hunting or clay shoot, and one of the shooters is just having all sorts of hell, and we're thinking he got bad ammo, you know, bad shells. No, he shot and he went hunting, and then he just stuck the shotgun in the safe or wherever he keeps it, and it got rust. The guy, we had to disassemble his shotgun in the field.
Wow.
So that's gross when you get the action that comes up. Because I mean, the way I clean my shotgun is with the next shot, barrel wise anyway. But yes, we don't need to be bore sneaking no rifling with that Mossberg, you know. But when you get the action all fucked up like that,
you gotta put a little oil in there every now and then for sure.
Every now and again. Blood doesn't count as oil.
No, it does not.
True story. True story.
Okay, so I guess we'll roll over to the second question. This one's going to probably send us down the rabbit hole, which is why I wanted to put it second. I put a question out there. What do you think of federalizing DC? Tyranny or a needed intervention? So 51% said it was either a tyranny or an overstep. So I guess to question 2, what do you guys think about federalizing DC law enforcement?
Man, I discussed this a little bit earlier on the Too Soon to Tell Tuesday this afternoon. I think this is the first step down a very slippery slope that's going to lead us to tyranny. We all know that the road to hell is paved with the best of intentions.
Right.
And I honestly think that he has the best of intentions and just feels that they're lacking the physical presence to do what needs to be done. But immediately he starts talking about New York City and Chicago, and then, you know, why not Atlanta, and, you know, why not these other cities that have issues because they so easily solved it, right? I think this is the slippery slope into the complete and total federalization of police. And I also think it's going to lead to a desensitized public to the presence of military on their streets. It's something that we should not accept. I think it's tyranny actual, but a slow rollout of it.
Yeah.
So like the first step almost.
Yeah. Yeah, you federalize the police force. You know, the crime is bad enough. That's real. And all they need is a reason to put these folks out on the street. And once they're there, I mean, why leave, right? I mean, they're doing such a great job. If they go away, the crime's going to come back. And, you know, that's just the way it is. It's a perpetual problem and a perpetual solution that I think is going to spread like wildfire, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
That's a scary thought, man.
Yeah, I agree with Mike wholeheartedly. I think it's the tyranny itself, because once you federalize one state, and I'm doing air quotes to those listening, and it works well in DC, what's stopping them from doing it in any state in the union? You know, and that's where, unfortunately, we the people are going to have to step up and say no more. And next thing you know, You have the Boston Tea Party 2.0, except it's not tea.
Yeah.
And it goes
So
back
I'd like
to
to
1776. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'd like to point out that the National Guard has been deployed to New York City indefinitely for a very, very long time.
Really?
They've been down in Grand Central Station, standing side by side with NYPD with their M4s to quell some of the. Just a second. Oh, we got company. We got company. The neighborhood patrol is
Is it the
here.
cops?
Everybody. The fifth horseman just rode in on his mechanical steed. Welcome, 125. Welcome.
Hey, awesome.
But they've been on the streets in NYC for a long time, and NYC is still a shithole. So if it's going to take National Guard to clean the place up, you have to put them everywhere.
Yeah. And they'd have to be
Later,
allowed.
brother.
They'd probably have to be allowed to intervene too. Because I think
Yeah.
right now in New York, they're very limited.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically just a physical presence, and if something goes down, it's extra hands there. Machine sounds great, doesn't it?
Correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe the National Guard works differently, but is the United States military not barred constitutionally from acting as law enforcement on American soil?
Yeah, the federal troops are.
So there's a number of things that he, as we call him, is doing that are blatantly unconstitutional. A lot of constitutionalists in the comments here, a lot of constitutional scholars. Everybody knows their fucking constitution. Well, then, everybody should realize that what is happening is across the board unconstitutional, illegal. It's being ignored. The courts say you can't do that, and they're like doing it anyway. There isn't a real. They're putting chum in the water as a test of authority here, and as Mike pointed out, once they take whatever it is they're taking from you, they're not giving it back. The Patriot Act destroyed the idea of America all the way back in 2001. It basically, not that 9/11 was some inconsequential thing, but they turned a mountain into a molehill. They used a catastrophic event as an outright legal attack on every constitutional right anyone in the fucking world has, and have only added to it and continued to reenact it. Both red and blue, left and right, have continued to fucking stamp that paper and push that piece of shit through to this very day, let alone every other thing that people have straight up told you and provided evidence occurs. PRISM, all the shit Edward Snowden brought out, all the WikiLeaks stuff, all the entire corruption has been laid bare. And we as people have said, yeah, I don't care though. So what we have allowed is indeed what has continued.
True.
You should know it.
So, to your point, Livingston, man, there are a few exceptions to the constitutionality rule. And T-Man is a master at exploiting loopholes, bro. He became a lucrative businessman exploiting loopholes. He will find it. He will find a way through it.
Up his personal lawyers.
And, hey, they found a way around it. They found a way around it. They instituted some act or law that the president can declare to restore law and order. And he's using it, man. He's using all the tools in his toolbox to do whatever he deems necessary need be done.
He's terrorizing the entire populace, not just the browns and the blacks. He's terrorizing everybody. It's made it so like you feel like there will you speak out against what you fucking see is shown to you with your own eyes, and you speak out against it, you're either you'll be socially uncredited at the best. Nobody will hear you, as if they are able to digitally mute you. Now, if I post a cat picture on Facebook, I'll get 35 likes because I'm like a huge content creator, bro. That's big numbers, 35 people. But I say some shit, and it's just either nobody likes it because they're afraid to, or they don't want to pick a side in anything. This is like exactly the agenda here. Make everyone fear your absolute overreaching power. I'll sue everything and fire everybody and fucking everybody's going to jail. Hellfire, brimstone, everything is a fucking catastrophic crisis. It's either the best or the worst with this guy. Okay, everything is either the most beautiful thing you ever seen or the biggest horrible piece of shit you ever seen. Okay, it's so beautiful or it's so bad.
He does that really well, by the way.
Thanks.
So
Everything he fucking does and says is for propaganda effect.
okay, so here's a bigger question: is he simply most recent domino in a series of leaders who are systematically taking away those rights, those freedoms, using the next catastrophe? It was 9/11, then GWAT, then I don't know, the Antifa riots, and then I don't know, pick your other riot purpose in January.
Dating the dogs, dating the cats. Fucking, if that's Ohio for you, I told you, don't fucking go there. But,
And the Croatian. You forgot the Croatian.
and then they were eating the Croatians too. Damn, they was desperate.
Well, what do you think we're doing?
I didn't know we was picking Croatians out like fucking nice rep cherries, Trent. We could be selling that for a premium.
Yeah, that's our premium blend. That's
All
our
right.
90%.
But not
premium.
the Bulgarians. Too much vodka content, right?
Well, there's a market for that too. There's a market for anything.
So would it be fair to say the general consensus here is that anything more than the 30-day whatever limit that the home rule law says is allowed would really start become concerning to you guys?
Yeah,
what did you say?
Here's why it won't, is they know that Americans have a attention span of, if we're lucky, if this is a really big deal, about 14 days. So you slap a 30-day on anything, and it's fucking normalized after a week anyway. And 30 days later, well, it just is what it is. And that's how a lot of this is going to play out. Like Mike said, it's a slow burn. Not going to be some thunderclap. All of a sudden, there's Gestapo in the streets. No, you look the other way until all of a sudden you realize that, damn, we're here now. There's no cure. There's no cure for it. There's no. I ain't got no advice. How do you stop that? You can't. They coming, bro. It's going to happen.
We need a successio plebis now more than ever.
I think they would, if that actually happened. I think that for the, I don't know, more than once time, which is bad enough, you would see American troops fire on peaceful protesters, and they would put that shit down. That's why you gotta do it.
They would have to drag you out of your house, kicking and screaming, and take you to work.
I think it'd be union brothers and sisters who would get the brunt of that first, because they have like rules in their shit, like you're not allowed to strike and this, that.
Yeah.
Governments and labor unions typically don't get along, except in our case because they're so oligarchically entrenched.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
They're all the same. They elect the president so they can get the work.
Yeah.
And truthfully, even the union leaders nowadays, many of them have become rich being part of their union. It's not like
they're quasi-politicians of their own little kind of political thing they do.
Jimmy Hoffa was just the beginning of that whole thing years ago. But okay, so I guess it would be fair to say nobody's super excited about this. So, okay, I'm going to do a question 2A then. If this proceeds, if it gets wider spread, we see New York, or an increase in New York, since New York already has a guard. We have federal troops protecting federal property in LA and in San Francisco. What would be your trigger point where you say, oh, we just slipped down the slope?
As soon as it spreads outside of the DC metro area. As soon as it spreads outside of there, you're already sliding down the slope, and they're just throwing grease at it on your way down.
Yep, absolutely. The next state is definitely becomes a problem, a major problem, because they're not going to stop once it goes outside of DC.
Now, do you think somebody might try to worsen the decline?
Fucking ham radio operator on this live stream. The only one that hears that. Pete, you hearing this shit?
Yeah, I'm hearing the
Okay. It sounds like a radio transmission.
I don't know. Hold on.
Hey, let me mute myself. It's probably the bugs.
Okay, hold on. Oh,
Yeah.
That was it. We weren't sure.
Cicadas are speaking in code. The time is now, says Trent.
Right. I was
starting
just
to
getting ready to
hear
decipher what they were saying.
The time was a year ago. He just keeps reminding them.
Yeah.
And then you know what
But
happens? Then something happens, and they're like, "Oh no, what happened?" Because they didn't listen to us.
Sounds like I got some heavy military hardware heading over to Livingston, man. Look out, here they come. It's headed right for you.
I told you because I criticized the guy.
I'm telling you, the Blackhawks were already out, man.
Yep, just waiting.
They're like, he knows
And
about
it's
Ohio.
Tuesday.
Shut it down.
He knows about Ohio.
Yeah. The time is now. But
Well,
yeah,
so-
once it gets outside of DC, it's time to stand up as we the people and say no.
All right, well, now it's interesting, I guess, to point out that the numbers that he claimed are actually true for once. When he compared DC and said that they had a higher murder rates than like Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City,
Right.
actually true.
Yeah.
On the decline, though they all are, yes, the numbers say that in this case, that's a fact. But my thing is, I didn't feel actually that I actually answered the question. I don't really know how to feel about that. DC is an extra national thing anyway. It is our nation's capital. It doesn't have seats in the House and the Senate.
It's not a state per se.
It's not a state.
Right, so it's a federal area. So, okay. Federalizing it, okay. Again, I don't even know what that means or what that even changes.
I think from what I've seen, it's a civilian area under federal purview. But there's a time limit for him to do this. So, like, if he says, I'm going to take over the police, it's a 30-day window, and he has to renew 30 days, but the second time around, I think it has to go to the Senate or the House. I don't remember which. Like, he can't just perpetually on his own.
Right.
But that's still concerning because you figure we've got federal troops around buildings in LA. I don't know if they've gone home yet. Would he have been better? So here's a question. Would he have been better off maybe putting extra, I don't know, federal agents there, like actual law enforcement to help the cops, as opposed to National Guard?
I think he actually did that. I think he did that first. I think the first foot in the door was the FBI there to assist with investigations and things like that. Especially like the drug task force and the gang task force and stuff like that. I believe we'll find out in the coming days that the first move was sending them extra resources so they can get this stuff done and stop dragging their feet. Typically, law enforcement agencies are limited by their budget, in all honesty.
Right.
And as soon as you federalize them, well, we're, $37 trillion in debt they announced today? Who gives a shit? Spend it, right? So the federal government is going to spend. If there's not a problem, we'll create one and we'll just justify our existence and keep that $37 billion going. Trillion.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Well,
I think he did that first. I think the first step was sending in the badges, and the second step was sending in the camouflage with the M4s.
so
What is that? Here's the thing: is like, why is our nation's capital have like such a high murder rate? If indeed it is that it needs camouflage and M4s on the ground, like, and what do they intend to do? Go root out, hunt down the killers or what is the actual problem here? Is it gang violence? Is it drug? What is the
In
why so many
DC, in DC on the regular, you can see people walking car to car, smashing back windows and stealing everything out of a vehicle before walking to the next car, doing the same thing with a car following them down the street to put all the bags and everything that
They're
they
just throwing
steal
stuff in the car.
out of these cars into a different vehicle and then driving off. DC is lawless, soft on crime, and things like bail reform have changed the game. Folks go and do something that would normally land you in jail until your court date, and you're back on the street that night. Essentially, the cops just write you a ticket and say, you're being arrested for this, show up to court this date, and we'll figure out if you're guilty or not.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to have to maybe circle back. I don't know, maybe 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
And bring up this very same subject and see how it played out, because we're speculating. Absolutely. Like, this is super new right now to all of us.
Well, I'm questioning anyone's logic who thinks that bringing in the federal government is going to make anything better or faster.
Yeah, it's like the most inefficient machine ever created, and you're going to send it to fix things.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, no, we'll definitely have to come back. We've got the chat a bit wound up a bit with this.
Are they all riled up?
Yeah, everyone's riled up. Kane, I like Kane Corso. No worries in my neck of the woods. I think he's out in the country somewhere.
I'm telling you, sometimes, folks, you got to look out your own window and be like, yeah, but that ain't here. Mm-hmm. But you don't want to let it. You don't want to start seeing that smoke in the distance either.
Yeah, that's a good point, Bad Bobber.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll have to come back to this conversation and see how it played out in whatever the timeline, 30, 45 days.
Right.
So I think that's going to be important. All right, so I got another question. This one a little less rabbit holey. No, actually, I'm sorry. I take that back. It's a rabbit hole. I just reread it, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong question. All right, here we go. How would you manage justice, speaking of law and order, in an SHTF? I'm going to give you a context in that, let's just say federal level law and society is pretty much involved in a war, whatever. Something has gone on the federal and possibly state level, so it's going to be below that. How would you handle justice? And this is a very broad question because, thievery versus murders. So
are we talking manage justice with them or just manage justice overall?
Managing, for example, acts of crime or disputes between people, even if there is no crime. Now we can go to a civil court or small claims court. What are your thoughts on handling it? This is deliberately open-ended.
During SHTF, there is no law. The law is what I say it is, plain and simple. If you're trying to harm me and my family, then there's only one penalty. And to be nice about it is you're going to end up in a truck that goes north. And you're going to become part of the 60-40 blend. Depending on your nationality, you may be the premium 90-10 blend. So, plain and simple, I will try to be as morally and logically fit as I can be, but there will be justice. That's all I got without diving in a rabbit hole.
Fair enough.
My goal would be to establish some sort of council, right? People that I believe are of moral character, who would essentially vote on what's to be done, right? For each specific situation, because some things are unallowable Even in modern society, the punishment for some things is death.
Right.
So
Not
I
in
think all
civilization.
options would be on the table, but I would honestly want the fate of somebody who was proven to have committed a crime.
Yeah.
I would want that up to, we'll say, a jury of the peers, because that's essentially what the council would kind of be, you know, citizens of this new shit world.
Right.
Yeah.
And try and go from there, right? I don't think you need a one-person rule. I mean, if it's your castle, it's your decision,
Right.
ultimately. But in a greater society, I think justice would be best served at the hands of many, not just one.
So have like a tribunal or a council or a point if there's
Totally.
an act of crime. Let's just say not a dispute like who owns the chickens, but some act of crime.
Yeah.
You
Well, not
appoint
even
a
the crime,
jury,
but
basically.
like you said, where people have squabbles and there's disagreements over this and that, it's go to the council, plead your case, and hopefully they can come up with a fair resolution for everybody.
Okay.
Motherfuckers in the chat more pissed about the Walking Dead reference than anything we said, but okay.
There were crimes or whoever it was.
Yeah, you opened up some shit. You said you might. I've been taking notes here. My new thing. So justice, right? So it's actually what this is a couple of questions based on, okay, so how would I approach justice? So in the scenario, I've been given power to met out justice. So here I go. I would keep my perspective small, like you pointed out, is that the rule of law as we know it isn't necessarily going to apply to this new world at all. Would I be harsh for its effect, or would I be fair for its effect? Would my fairness be mistaken for weakness? Why strong men act the way they do? I'd have Mike mentioned a council of people. I have 3, so that there can be a dissenting voice. So there can't be 2, because if they agree, it just is. So 3, you got 3. What is right versus what is illegal?
Yeah.
You see this a lot. You get a ticket for doing some shit. They talk it down because it's like, that's already done, kind of. But there used to be a whole separate court called the Court of Common Pleas for this. Like, they understood, like, the law says this, but, like, these poor peasants can't understand this. So tell me what happened, and I'll make a ruling on it. Doesn't matter what's legal in a Court of Common Pleas. It mattered what was right.
So it was a balance. You're referring to the balance between legal and moral, which may not always overlap, regardless of how well intentioned the law is.
Exactly. I am not in any position to sort of rewrite any legal code. Like, as everyone's pointed out, there are certain things, though, that I think you can agree on are sort of inalienable. And that would be where your typical, even your frontier justice system starts,
Right.
is things that people like kind of know are right and wrong.
Right.
How would I manage it? Like that. But it'd be a pretty on-the-fly thing. I couldn't decide now how I would act. I'd have to decide then how I would act.
This is very hypothetical. I mean, when you think about it. Well, what do you think of like Mike's idea of like a rotating council or tribunal where
absolutely
cases
term limits
could be heard?
Term limits in any form of power are essential. Without it, all you have is a dynasty or a regime.
Yep.
So, and would you have them as the same council that makes decisions for the community, or would it be a separate entity? Would that get more confusing?
I think perhaps they might be connected, but to the point though, I like the idea of like the way the Senate works. There's an on my hypothetical 3-person council. There's an elder, and there are 2 youngers. One of the there's let's call it an elder, a middle, and a younger.
Right.
The elder has to leave. The middle steps up as the elder. A new one. Keep fresh blood in your civic mindset. You can't get stodgy and old about the old ways. You want to go live under Stalin, go do that back in the 40s, you know. Fresh ideas. I mean, I'm the first one to be like, I hate these kids. They got to pull up their pants and cut their hair and they do all this stuff. But every one of us had that said about them. They're the ones who progress society. And just because some young blue-haired necrophiliac liberal had a good idea doesn't mean it's a bad idea. A good idea is a good idea. It doesn't matter whose idea it was.
Right. Okay. So would you
tune it in Tokyo? That ain't the Russian woodpecker. That's like the Russian fucking like California condor. This man's got going on in this. Bro.
Yeah, no kidding.
These bugs are serious.
So here's a question. So
what
what
if? Question. I would totally have a separate council for justice over the one that would make decisions for the community. I think that was a great point that you made there. I think those, because different people have different strengths, right?
Right.
The guy who's making sure that there's enough food here to feed everybody probably isn't the right guy to make a decision on you stole a loaf of bread, right?
Right.
He's going to put you in the 60-40 blend 100% of the time.
Exactly.
But the lady that lives down the street from you that knows that people have been stealing from your cupboard and you haven't said anything because you care about them, knows that you were hungry and really needed that bread, so she wants to go light on you. I think it's important to separate those two, but have good communication between the two of them.
Right.
Yes, I agree.
It's almost like appointing a jury of sorts or a legal panel.
Absolutely.
On a rotating basis for the community, but then the Senate or the Congress of the community, the leadership, would be a separate creature.
Correct.
Okay. And I threw this out there because it's very open-ended, because justice could be someone stole bread, and you know, you wouldn't punish that or deal with that the same way as, you know, Satan over here tried to molest or you know, do something horrendous to somebody in the community and got caught. I would think that would be a much harsher response to that second person.
And you're talking about frontier justice again here, where you can't have like these long drawn out legal trials. There's no forensic experts. You ain't calling no witnesses. You ain't fucking subpoenaing nobody. So whatever has happened here has to be important enough for your community to even care. Or without all this, there'll be no outrage. You're not going to hear about something that happened 1,000 miles away and be mad about it. It'll be very much more close and personal and close to home, which is why in a justice situation, passion has to be removed. There's such a thing as activist judges.
Yeah.
And I think that they should interpret the law as it was morally expected to be interpreted. I mean, I tell you, everybody got to put their own fucking spin on everything. I don't need the Bible remix 3.0, bro. I seen it. I know what it's supposed to say. You don't need to change shit. Make it. You have to evolve your social policies, but you can't evolve your like actual founding traditions too much, or what even is it?
Yeah. No, that's a good point. All right, and that was a tough question because I left that very open-ended on purpose because I wanted to see how we'd walk through it. So this one's a little less of a rabbit hole. I think this one actually is going to be funny. In that same SHTF, what would be your first pick location if you had the transportation to get there? And what would be your absolute last pick location in an SHTF?
For me, I would say first pick would be south facing hillside with some super fertile dirt, and my last decision would be anywhere in close proximity to a nuclear power plant.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that definitely.
Yeah.
I gotta go get some light. I'll be right back.
That's fine, man.
I would say my first pick would be high ground, natural resources, as in water, a pond, and elevation. My worst pick, my last pick, if I had to pick, and it wouldn't be a pick, would be in a bowl surrounded by higher ground.
I guess I got to go with the psychological aspect. So, okay, my first pick, like, as I'm thinking about, I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, I want to be on a hill. I want to have, like, a farm. I want to have, like, fresh water. I want to have, and then I'm like, yeah, so I have, it's going to breed conflict. They're all going to come from my shit that's possibly not even mine to begin with. I don't even have a legal claim to it. I don't even have a moral claim to it. I stole it. So, who's wrong to come and take it from me? So I would think, like, you almost, more rationally, you might want to pick a more subdued, a gray house. We've had this conversation. The whole, like, you don't want to appear too shabby, make yourself a target. You don't want to appear too well off, make yourself a target. You don't want to be seen at all. Like, so my first pick location is the thing. I'm just gonna act homeless at, like, a Walmart.
Homeless at a Walmart.
Yep.
Honest, that's
Not
or a
bad.
train yard or something like that. So
Oh yeah, just shabby, just be around, act all crazy, like, oh, he's a harmless old crazy guy. Fucking him, he doesn't bother him. I don't want to be bothered. Really, is all. I don't see conflict in my life ever. I hate it. I don't even like people. You think I want to fight with one? Fuck that.
with a people. All right. So how about, would you choose, if say you got stuck in a place like New York City or Chicago, how would you try to select, okay, let's use New York or whatever city. Say you get caught there, you're traveling, whatever, and bam, something happens. How would you try to position yourself in a city where it's not super optimal to begin with?
I start a cult on this.
I tell you what, if I got stuck in New York City, the first thing that I'm doing is finding Jason Charles, and then we can go from there, right?
We're gonna arm the homeless. We're gonna
then my family down there, and then it's on like Donkey Kong, because I know everybody around me has my back, or at least the same last name, and that's it. We're gonna secure something. We're gonna hold it down until we can get the hell out of Dodge. Wait for all the commotion to stop, and then make some moves.
Yeah.
My personal life highly contradicts the idea I would ever be stuck in either of those places. I go 3 places in my life, bro: work, home, and the store. So there's a 33% chance I'll get caught in a Hannaford when the shit goes down, and I'm owning that shit. All right, I'm Neganing that shit. My store. You're all work for me now or die.
Yep.
Right. Full blood dictator of that Hannaford until the supplies run out, and then it is what it is. But yeah, I ain't playing. I'm already annoyed. I got to be there now. I'm stuck here. It's now everybody else's fucking problem. I'm done.
I love this comment.
No, he's definitely taller than me. Definitely taller than me.
Oh man, that's just wild. Okay.
Yeah, I can't see myself getting stuck in like Chicago, let alone trying to get out. I mean, I lived there for 6 years and went downtown into the city one time. And like I said, if I'm in Chicago, I'm traveling at night and I'm getting out.
So what would you tell someone who may be living, like, Jason, you're living in the city for work or family? If something were to happen, what would you tell them should be their first 2 steps?
I get out as quick as possible. if you can't beat the rush, then you have to hunker down, right?
Yeah.
And I hope you have the supplies. Get to a middle story in a building, not all the way at the top, not all the way at the bottom, and just hold out until everybody's gone. Then you're going to have to leave on foot. So while you're stuck in the building, work them stairs, mofo. Work those stairs, because you're going to need your legs to carry you wherever you got to go after that.
Yep. For somebody stuck in the city, I really can't give them advice because I'm not there and I've never been there, but they would know better than I, other than, get out as soon as you can. Survive the mayhemicness and build and plan your exit. Plain and simple.
I was watching a video of the heavy rains that came in New York City like not too long ago, and it flooded the subways, and it's raining beat hell. And I was watching them though, and I was watching a video of this guy. He just had like a camera like strapped to himself where we were walking, and something occurred to me is that those folks are like prepared for things that we are not. All they did was it's pouring to beat hell. This was whatever, like tropical downpour essentially. It's flooding the streets. Everybody's just going about the business. They all popped out umbrellas. They all got ponchos. There was this one hard ass dude didn't have either. Just walking through the shit. I would have been freezing, shivering, dying, pissed off, fucking hating my life. But for New Yorkers, you get stuck out in this shit. Now, I don't know. I didn't even know how I live on West 38th Street. And I was all the way over at 132nd Avenue. It started raining, For us, that's like being 8 miles from home.
Yeah.
On foot with just what's in your little bag. And they all have those too. They got a fucking poncho and their fucking wallets. And it's a whole different prepping kit. But I see it. I was like, unreal. I don't see a single person out here struggling, particularly during what I would have been fucking like huddled up like this sucks.
It's almost like an urban EDC.
Yeah. So when we say we can't speak to it, it's like, I literally had to watch a YouTube video like, how do city people act when it rains? Like,
and you know what? That may be a good place for someone to start if they live in the city and they're starting off, is go look at YouTube and get ideas.
Yeah.
But shoot. All right, gentlemen, last question because we only got a few minutes left. What do you think's next?
No, that's my answer right there. Yeah, Jesus Christ is going to return. Yeah, got to be it.
We've got everything else so far. Shoot.
Please.
Somebody. I don't even care who it is, dude. Just.
I think more financial crunch. I don't think it's really started yet. I think it's just starting to get going, and more inflation. If things kept on track from what they were the last 5 years, we're projected at 50% in the next 5 years, right? So that's going to double the cost of everything again. I did a little research today, and the home prices here in New York are up 50% over the last 5 years.
Wow.
It's unsustainable, and we're headed towards a fiscal cliff. $37 trillion in debt to somebody. Maybe
planet
God
Jupiter, I'm
himself.
pretty
I
sure.
don't know. Maybe we owe the earth like mad money, and that's why all the earthquakes and volcanoes are happening. They haven't thrown the money in the volcano.
You were supposed to
Right?
give the money to Anubis, and we didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
throw the gold in the sacred lake. You guys been hoarding it
Yeah.
for yourself, worshiping a
I don't-
false idol.
I don't know what it is, but there's a financial tsunami coming for America.
I believe it.
If these tariffs actually start to raise prices even more, a lot of people are already at their breaking point, you know, and it's just going to push them over the edge. They're one slip up away from total financial disaster, and they're greasing the road. They're greasing everything. You know, they want it to slip. They want people broken, and dependent upon them. It sucks, but I really think more decay is what's on the menu.
And I'm with you on that, because here in Ohio, homeless rate is up 36%.
Good God.
Wow.
36% of people being homeless, living on the streets. I think we're headed for a freaking financial tsunami that is going to be the domino that starts a whole bunch of other mess.
Yep.
And then
I agree with everything.
That's going to be the point when they start federalizing the states to deal now with the homelessness and the crime, and keep prepping, folks.
Yep. I agree with everything the bros said, except for the idea that they want us to be dependent on them. Hearing what Mike said, I put two words together. Well, three actually. No, two. Societal gentrification. If you ain't rich, out of sight, out of mind. I don't care where you go, but where you can't stay here. They're just going to price you out of your family home, the town you grew up in. The AI will price you out of your job. Everything will price you out. Some bigger fish will come. Whatever you think you have, you don't. Some bigger fish will come and have that from out from under you. Even your own town might just decide that they want your boat club and just take it from you. You own nothing already. The only thing they have to change is that we don't like it. But they're halfway there. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Our problem as Americans is we own nothing, but we're not happy. So they're not going to make us happy, though. See, that's the weird part. They're just going to take more and more from us until we take our unhappy ass somewhere out of sight of the ivory tower.
That's an interesting point, man.
Do you think the billionaires are going to ship themselves to Mars? No, they're going to ship us to fucking Mars. Hello? Off with you. Shoot the garbage into the sun. Goodbye. Okay, well, now we have everything. You know.
I believe it.
You think Elon's funky ass going to go die on Mars? Nah, bro, you are.
You'll be the last train in Snowpiercer.
Nah, that's what. Yeah, famous last words. I ain't going.
Oh wait, Klaus says you will be happy.
That'll be the day.
So a question, guys, since we have a couple of minutes. In your area, are you seeing, because I know you guys deal with this a little bit, are you seeing a lot of homes on the market not moving? Like days on market are longer, because I'm seeing it here.
Yes. I saw a stat the other day, Pete, that there was 190,000 homes for sale and fewer than 100,000 people looking for homes. So the market is saturated, and it's the most saturated it's ever been in history. The gap is widening. A lot of people putting things on the market, but nobody can afford it. Nobody can afford it. The folks who could did early, and they're going to have to come up with 50-year to 70-year mortgages to give to the younger generations, because they did the same thing with vehicles, right? 5 years used to be like the longest term you could get, but now you can finance a vehicle for 7-8 years even.
Yeah.
You can finance fucking Taco Bell, dude. There are millennials going into debt feeding themselves.
100%, Livingston, man. 100%. We're in a debt-based society. 37 trillion in the hole.
Yep.
I don't know where it goes, but I always said that I think there will be a time when it would be strategically advantageous to max out the plastic and keep all the assets you have, because the system is about to fail. And when it does, all of that is going to disappear anyway. So you might as well get tangible goods with it while you still can.
I
think
need you to
that
read the
time
disclaimer at the bottom after you listen
is
to what Mike
fast
said.
approaching.
Come here.
Yeah, I'm not telling anybody to go max out the plastic, but I do think that if that was your thing, that time is coming soon. I
They're
think
not going to come
credit is
repossess
going
your
to be
mouth.
taken away from a subset of people, right? They're gonna consider some people a lower class of people and deem them not worthy of being in the debt-based society.
Yeah.
I
They
think that
already do.
society already exists, though, doesn't it? I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who exist outside of that credit system. They've never had credit, or they don't know how to use it, even if they do have it, right? And they mismanagement and destroy their credit, so to speak, but still have a car and still have an apartment and still have all these things.
Right.
I think that subset of society is going to grow exponentially here real soon.
That's what caused that huge the subprime mortgage thing.
Prime mortgages.
That was a symptom of an already weakened economy, and then they were like blatantly handing out like loaded loans to people they knew couldn't afford them, consolidated assets through that fucking action. They're already doing it again. Housing, there's more than enough housing to feed more than every person in the United States, but it's an illusion of scarcity. They treat diamonds and houses the same. There's more than enough of them. It's simply how many of them you release
At a time.
Supply and demand. So when you keep the supply artificially low, the demand is high, so the price is high. I own 10 units, but I'm only going to rent one of them. Because this way there's only one you can have, and that one costs, baby. That's what they're doing.
Yep.
It's artificial. There is no scarcity. This is fucking America. This is 2025. This is Earth. We got LED lights and space lasers and freaking AI and all kinds of killer shit. But you're telling me we've lost the ability to put a roof over another human being's head without making a profit from it. So,
Preach, brother, preach.
There you go.
it's no different than filming yourself giving a homeless man a cheeseburger. The camera was completely unnecessary. You want to fucking help, just help.
Yeah.
There's no personal gain that needs to be taken from helping another person get on their feet or stay alive till the next day.
Yeah. That's a good point. And that goes back to the legal and moral.
Yeah.
Amen.
No, definitely. Well, gentlemen, it looks like we've about run out of time tonight. And I knew we'd go down a couple of rabbit holes, so I wanted to keep it exciting. Guys, do you have any parting words for these lovely ladies and gentlemen who've joined us tonight?
I do, and I gotta find it. Somebody said something. I was I gotta respond. If they ship XNYC says if they ship Livingston to Mars, the Martians will never invade us. I promise you that if they ship me to Mars, me and all the Martians are invading the fuck out of this place. We will be hailed as liberators. We will save you all. Elon, send me to Mars, motherfucker. Let's see what happens. Play that card, bro. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Mike?
Oh man.
We'll radicalize the Martians.
There you go.
Do your best to put yourself in a position where you are in debt to no one. I know taxes. I know. But if you can work now to eliminate those credit card payments and things like that, do it, man. Do it. Get the shovel out. Dig yourself out of that hole. Right your ship, and make mattress money great again.
Yes.
Trent?
Get out of debt. Get out of debt. Keep on prepping. And love on your animals, please.
Yes. Take care of your critter. Don't forget to prep for your critters.
Prep for your animals. Although he is the chief marketer for that 60-40 blend that gets shipped up north. So,
how old is Cole?
He just turned 2.
He's massive.
Happy birthday, Cole.
Happy birthday, Cole. There you go.
Yeah, he just turned 2 in July.
Vision wrestling with Moose again.
I know. I'm trying to get him to get down, but
no, he's going to make himself heavy. All right, well, gentlemen, that's it for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen out in the audience, thank you for joining the Four Horsemen. Once again, next week we are...
I don't know.
The Livingston Man's channel?
We'll be somewhere.
Come visit us at the skanky dive bar known as my channel. You can say anything we want over there.
Sometimes you need a dive bar night.
That's right.
Chill with the bros. We'll see you guys next week.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Smash the like button, folks.
Do it.